Councillor Shiner.
Through you, Madam Chair, I guess to the Solicitor, just so I understand this. And we're going to sell the property.
Thank you.
The councillor's concern is that when we approve a 40-story building, it stays a 40-story building, and he's got a method that he's trying to control that at. Am I right?
Yes, and as I understand it, the actual zoning bylaw does contain a height limit, and the official plan, as was the subject of the public meeting, uses the word may use a strata plan.
So, as we know, though, official plans and zoning, there can always be an application to change that. That's what the Planning Act's all about.
That's absolutely right.
So there's no surety to what the height may end up in the building, and what he's proposed is that instead of allowing it to be an application at a future time that could come before us to amend it, that by putting a strata agreement in place, that's the height, and the OMB can't go around us.
No, but remember that council has an element of control here. You can decide at the time you're selling the property that you're going to use the strata plan to that height limit, whereas the drafting with the word may gives at least council some flexibility, whereas if you put the word shall in, and a few years down the road it's decided to do something totally different, and I don't know what that is because it's too early to prejudge that, you will be required to do an official plan amendment simply to deal with the word because you put the word shall in.
Okay, so really what this does is what the council is looking to do is say, we had the community meeting, we knew the 40-story height, we're going to support it to the 40-story height, and we're not going to let it go any larger, and if you want to go any larger, it can't be appealed to the OMB, it has to come back to council. And that's how he's locking it up?
Well, the use of a strata plan, if council at the time that dealing with the actual land decides to sell a strata plan, then it will limit the height, and there is no appeal to the OMB of a sale of land.
Right, but he's doing that. I guess what the difference is, instead of waiting till someone's buying the property or it's put on the market with an application, that's a time the council may put a strata plan on it. What he's suggesting is put a strata plan on it now before you put it out for sale.
And we're saying that that's not appropriate right now. It may very well be appropriate at the time you have an actual transaction or a proposal in front of you. It's premature at this time in our view, and that's our best advice.
I appreciate that, but it's something that council can do to bring some surety to the community that the most this building is going to be is that height without council's approval.
We would not recommend it. We would not recommend the word shall.
You said that 3 times, I never stopped you, but what it does do is it allows us to do that as council and give a control on it now so we know what the height will be. Does it not?
I don't believe that's the best mechanism at this stage to do that.
But it does let us do it, does it not?
It does, but if you want to do something different down the road, you have no flexibility.
I understand.
And you're mixing up the land use planning and the sales transaction, and we would strongly recommend against that.
Right, it's your recommendation. It isn't a great thing to do. It's the council's recommendation. It brings some surety, but it's a method that can be used.
Yeah. Yes, and as I mentioned previously, if you have to amend it down the road because you've put in the word shall, that is appealable to the Ontario Municipal Board, whereas council's decision to use a strata plan at the time it deals with the actual land transaction is not appealable.
I understand.